Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talk Tune English. I'm Emma, and today we're going to travel together using simple, real English you can actually use.
And I'm Jack. I'm already excited and a little nervous because traveling in English always sounds fun until someone speaks very fast.
Don't worry, Jack. Today is all about feeling relaxed, not perfect. If you can smile and speak, you're already doing great.
That makes me feel better because my English confidence usually disappears at the airport.
That's perfect, because the airport is exactly where we're starting.
Of course it is. The place with lines, announcements, and people yelling, "Final boarding."
Exactly. The airport is where travel dreams begin, and stress likes to join the trip.
Stress always buys a ticket, doesn't it?
Yes, and it never pays for extra luggage. So today, we'll help everyone feel calmer at the airport using easy English.
I like that. Simple English, simple life.
Let's imagine you just arrived at the airport. You're holding your passport, your bag, and about 5 different worries.
And one coffee that's already cold.
First stop, the check-in counter. This is where people often freeze.
That's me. I freeze, smile, and hope the staff understands my face.
Faces are great, but words help more. The first sentence you need is very simple. I'd like to check in, please.
I'd like to check in, please. That sounds polite and safe.
Exactly. Polite English is friendly English. After that, they might ask, "May I see your passport?"
That one I understand. Passport is my favorite English word at the airport.
They might also ask, "Do you have any luggage to check?"
And this is where people panic and start explaining their life story.
You don't need a story. You can just say, "Yes, one suitcase," or "No, just a carry-on."
Short answers feel powerful.
Yes, confidence loves short sentences.
But what if they say something fast and my brain stops working?
That's when you use your magic sentence. Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Ah, yes, the sentence that saves lives.
Maybe not lives, but definitely trips. It's polite, calm, and gives you time to think.
I like that it doesn't sound scared. It sounds normal.
Exactly. Asking for repetition is not a weakness, it's smart.
Okay, check-in done. Then comes security, my favorite nightmare.
Shoes off, laptop out, pockets empty, and suddenly you forget how trays work.
I always feel like I'm doing it wrong.
That's why this sentence is helpful. Is this okay?
Is this okay? Wow, that works for everything.
Yes. Belt, bag, water bottle, jacket. Just ask, "Is this okay?"
Simple and polite. I like it.
And if the officer asks a question you don't understand, remember your magic sentence.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Perfect.
What about that scary question? What's the purpose of your visit?
It sounds serious, but the answer is easy. You can say, "I'm here on vacation."
I'm here on vacation? That feels friendly.
Or, "I'm traveling for business." Short and clear.
And then they say, "Have a nice flight," and I say, "You too," even though they're not flying.
That happens to everyone. It's okay. Language is full of funny moments.
Good, I collect those moments.
Once you pass security, you can breathe again. You did it.
Until boarding starts and someone says something you don't hear.
True. On the plane, kindness is your best tool.
What's the first thing I should say to the flight attendant?
Just start with hello. A smile and a hello go a long way.
That I can do.
Then you can ask, "Could I have some water, please?"
Or could I have a blanket, please, because planes are always freezing.
Very true. You can also say, "Excuse me, where is my seat?"
Or could you help me find 14B? That sounds very polite.
Exactly. Polite English makes people happy to help you.
What if they ask about food and I don't catch it?
Magic sentence again.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yes, never forget it.
And if I need to stand up but someone is blocking the aisle?
You can say, "Excuse me, may I pass?"
That sounds much better than awkward eye contact.
Words usually win over eye contact.
And when we land, I can say, "Thank you for your service."
That's a beautiful sentence. Gratitude makes travel warmer.
I like that. English feels nicer when it's kind.
Exactly. And look at you now, from nervous to confident.
I'm surprised myself.
Before we move on, let's repeat 2 key sentences for everyone listening.
Good idea.
I'd like to check in, please.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Those 2 sentences can take you very far.
I'm starting to believe that.
Take a breath, smile, and remember, you're doing great.
And we're just getting started.
Now imagine this. You've landed. Your legs feel heavy, your phone battery is low, but you're smiling because you made it.
I always feel proud at that moment, even if I'm also very tired.
That proud feeling matters. You've already used English successfully.
True. From check-in to the plane, I survived.
Not just survived, you communicated. And now it's time for the next big step, the hotel.
Ah, yes, the place where I just want to shower in silence.
Exactly. But first, a little English at the front desk.
Okay, I'm standing there with my bag. What do I say first?
Start friendly. Good evening. Then say, "I have a reservation under Jack Miller."
Good evening. I have a reservation under Jack Miller. That sounds very professional.
You sound like a frequent traveler already.
Fake it till you make it, right?
Absolutely. If you don't have a reservation, you can say, "Do you have any rooms available tonight?"
That feels useful for last-minute plans.
Yes, hotels understand that. Then they may ask, "Could I see your passport, please?"
That question follows me everywhere.
Passport is the star of international travel. They might also ask, "How many nights will you stay?"
And I can say 3 nights or just 1 night.
Perfect. Simple answers are strong answers.
What if I want a specific room, like a window or a view?
You can politely say, "Could I have a room with a window, please?"
Or with a double bed. I like sleeping comfortably.
Who doesn't? And when they give you the key card, they'll usually say something like, "Your room is on the 5th floor."
That's when I smile and nod, but secretly don't know where to go.
Then you ask, "Where is the elevator?"
Where is the elevator? That one is essential.
Or, "Could you show me the way to my room?"
That sounds very polite and safe.
Polite English opens doors, literally in this case.
I notice hotel English feels calmer than airport English.
Yes, hotels are a great place to practice small talk.
Like saying, "The hotel looks beautiful."
Exactly. Or, "Thank you for your help."
People smile more when you say that.
They really do. Now let's imagine you're finally in your room.
Shoes off, bag down, happiness.
And then something doesn't work.
Of course, the air conditioner stops.
Or there's no hot water.
Why is it always the hot water?
Travel mystery. So you call the front desk and say, "Hello, the air conditioner isn't working."
Or there's no hot water.
Then add, "Could you send someone to fix it, please?"
That sounds calm, not angry.
Exactly. Calm English gets faster help.
What if I just need something simple, like a towel?
You can ask, "Could I have an extra towel, please?"
I usually point and hope.
Words are more powerful than pointing.
I'm learning that slowly.
You're doing great. You can also ask, "Can I get more shampoo, please?"
That one saves lives too.
Travel survival English. And if you want to explore the city, ask the staff, "Could you recommend a good restaurant nearby?"
That sentence feels like a secret door.
Yes, locals love sharing their favorite places.
Free advice and good food. Perfect.
Let's practice a few sentences together for everyone listening.
Okay, repeat after us.
I have a reservation under Jack Miller.
Could you send someone to fix it, please?
Could you recommend a good restaurant nearby?
Those feel very real.
Because they are. This is real-life English.
I like that nothing feels complicated.
That's the goal. Now let's do a quick vocabulary moment.
My favorite part.
Check-in means arriving and confirming your stay.
Reservation means booking something in advance.
And front desk is where guests ask for help.
Simple words, big value.
Exactly. And remember, different countries have different accents.
So it's okay not to understand everything.
Very okay. Just ask, could you say that again, please?
No fear, no shame.
Language learning is about courage, not perfection.
That's something travelers really need to hear.
Now you've checked in, rested a bit, and feel more comfortable.
Which means I'm finally ready to step outside, explore the city, and use my English with confidence.
Now picture this moment. You step out of the hotel, the city is right in front of you, and suddenly everything feels possible.
I love that feeling. A little excited, a little scared, but ready.
That mix of feelings means you're alive and learning.
And hopefully not getting lost too quickly.
Getting lost is part of traveling, and part of learning English, too.
I guess every wrong turn becomes a story later.
Exactly. So let's start with something simple, asking for directions.
Okay, I'm standing on the street looking confused. What do I say?
Start polite. Excuse me. Then add, could you tell me how to get to the train station?
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the train station? That sounds very natural.
Because it is. Polite English works everywhere.
What if it's close and I don't want to walk too far?
Then you ask, is it far from here?
Or how long does it take to walk?
Perfect. Those questions save tired legs.
Especially after a long flight.
Now imagine someone explains very fast and your brain freezes.
That happens a lot.
Then calmly say, could you say that more slowly, please?
My favorite survival sentence again.
Yes, it deserves a medal.
Sometimes people also point instead of explaining.
That's okay. Smile, listen, and follow the hand.
Hand language is international.
Very true. Now let's talk about taxis.
Good. I usually panic a little in taxis.
You're not alone. First, you can say, excuse me, where can I get a taxi?
Or could you call a taxi for me, please?
Exactly. And once you're inside, say, please take me to this address.
And I can show my phone.
Yes, phones are great helpers.
What about small talk with the driver?
You can ask, is traffic always this busy?
That's such a safe question.
Yes, and drivers love it.
And when we arrive, I ask, how much is it?
Or, can I pay by card?
That one is very important.
Money English is powerful English.
And of course, thank you very much at the end.
Gratitude always leaves a good feeling.
I noticed many of these phrases are short and kind.
That's the secret. You don't need big words to connect.
Now let's imagine we stop at a cafe.
My favorite part of travel.
Me too. Coffee first, sightseeing later.
You can say, could I see the menu, please?
Then, can I have a cup of coffee, please?
And don't forget, for here or to go.
Right, for here means staying, to go means takeaway.
Perfect. And if you're shopping, you can ask, how much is this?
Or do you have this in another color?
Travelers always buy too much.
Souvenirs are memories you can carry.
Exactly. Speaking of souvenirs, let's do a quick vocabulary check.
Go ahead.
Directions mean instructions to reach a place.
Traffic means cars and vehicles on the road.
And souvenir means something you buy to remember your trip.
Simple words, but very useful.
Now, let's slow down for a moment.
Okay.
Think about how far you've come in this episode.
From nervous at the airport to ordering coffee.
That's real progress.
I didn't realize how much English we used until now.
That's the beauty of real-life learning,
It doesn't feel like studying.
because it's living.
You know, I used to be afraid people would laugh at my accent.
And now?
Now I realize most people just want to understand and help.
Exactly. People don't expect perfection.
They respect effort.
And courage.
Speaking English while traveling feels like opening doors.
Yes, doors to places, stories, and people.
Once I asked for a taxi and said the wrong word.
What happened?
Everyone laughed, then helped me anyway.
That's a perfect example. Mistakes create connection.
And good memories.
Before we finish, let's review a few key travel sentences.
Good idea.
I'd like to check in, please.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Could you send someone to fix it, please?
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to...
And finally, thank you very much.
Those sentences feel like travel companions now.
Keep them in your English backpack.
I like that image.
As we come to the end of today's journey, remember this.
English is not about speaking fast.
Or speaking perfectly.
It's about speaking with heart.
And being brave enough to try.
Every time you speak, you grow.
Even when you make mistakes.
Especially when you make mistakes.
That's when learning really happens.
If you remember just one sentence from today, that's success.
And if you remember two, that's confidence.
To everyone listening, thank you for traveling with us.
We hope this episode made English feel friendly and possible.
If you enjoyed learning with us, don't forget to come back.
Yes, we'll be right here, ready for the next journey.
New conversations, real English, and more confidence every time.
Thank you for being part of Talk Tune English.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep believing in yourself. We can't wait to learn English with you again.